Hey, Host Nation. So with this episode, John is actually at one of his vacant units right now. He's doing a build out for another property that he took on. John, how many properties do you even have right now?
Right now, I'm building out five. So this is two of the five. I got two in the same building. That is the entire building. They're pretty big units. So we got a 3 bedroom and a 2 bedroom. Probably about maybe 2,700 square feet on the top level and about 1,100 on the bottom. So they're really in a great location. So my customers should really love it. So the other location that I have coming open is a 2,000 square foot townhome. And I got a smaller apartment that's also coming online. So I got a lot of building out that I'm doing. I'm going to post inside the group about all my boxes and stuff and just the madness that starts once you get your lease signed. So excited to share that with you guys. And yeah, I'll see you there in the group.
So how many properties total is this now, John?
Oh, Lord, I don't know. I really hate this question because this count changes so much. I believe right now this puts me at about 27 listings. But I am in talks with someone right now about getting 10 more before the end of the year. So we'll see how that goes. And one day, if I have a champagne glass right beside me as we film, you already know what happened.
Very nice. Wow. And this is kind of, I want to get you guys excited and get you guys kind of pumped up because we are getting into this section, the offer. And so you're just like one step away from taking on properties. And this is going to be a really exciting thing because, John, like if you haven't listened to our other interview, John has been able to scale up this business in a year and a half. Now he has almost 30 properties, and then a bunch more to come. But that can definitely be you. If you are going through this vacation rental machine process, if you want to do the co-hosting, which John also does and I do, if you want to do rental arbitrage, then this is really the kind of the tipping point right here in the offer, which is going to be step 3. So let's just jump into this episode. Vacation Rental Machine helps hosts just like you learn how to start, grow, and scale your short-term rental business. This show is all about creating systems that help you automate your business, giving you more time and money freedom. If you're ready to start living the vacation rental life, then subscribe to this podcast today. Come and join us on our Facebook group, The Host Nation, where we'll be talking about starting, automating, and scaling a short-term rental business. Now, on to the show. Hey, welcome back, Host Nation, to another episode of Vacation Rental Machine. In this episode, we have finally moved on from market research, and we are now covering the next exciting part, which is going to be all about the offer. And with the offer, we're going to be talking about a lot of different things in this section. Step 3, which we're going to be covering pitching. We're going to be covering negative objection handling. We're going to be talking about the contracts. This is going to be some really, really cool stuff in here. So, John, the first step in our offer is going to be finding the right person. Now, you have some experience in finding the right people that, you can't just go up to anybody and start saying, hey, let me do this business here. You have to find the right person first. So if you wouldn't mind rolling with this one and explaining that process.
Definitely. First off, welcome everybody to step 3. This is one of the best parts, right? If you've been waiting for this moment, we're getting into the meat of things. You're not just playing around with the idea at this point. You are really in this thing. You're ready to hit the pavement and go for those no's like we talked about before. So let me tell you how to start getting some yeses, even though you're still going to get a bunch of no's. So first thing, talking to the right person. Very, very, very important that you talk to somebody that, one, can get you to the right yes or right person. So you don't want to waste this whole speech, this whole thing with somebody who can't do anything for you. Or maybe the same person that is just commission based. Maybe they're a temp that works for the REIT that doesn't even work there on a full-time basis. And you just go and you talk to them about multiple units and they might make an extra $150 per unit that you sign up for. So of course they'll tell you yes. You get all the way down this train, and then all of a sudden it doesn't go anywhere. Somebody's going to say no. So talking to the right person is really, really key. So how to identify the right person? Technically, you want to be going in talking either to landlords, the assistant manager, or the manager of the property. If you can't get one of those three in front of you, I would almost say find out when they're going to be there and then come back. You don't have to get too far into your pitch to find out this information. You could really just say, hey, I'm here. I'm looking for multiple units. But so you want to make sure that you find out who that person is so you could really go and talk to them and not waste your breath doing all these extra things that you don't need to do. So get the information, come back at a later date. And when you really talk to that person, you really just want to first just talk. Don't go in. Please just don't be sweating and all this other stuff. I mean, you kind of got to get it in front of the mirror and kind of get comfortable with some of the stuff that you got to go back and forth with. So you can't really be super nervous, or the person that's looking at you is going to be like, well, why is this guy acting all weird? So get comfortable. So one of the secrets to talking to the right person is I've identified that on the weekends, normally the right person isn't there. So sorry if that's what you were planning on doing. It's probably better to go during the week, and technically it might be better to go before 5. If that means you got to call in sick one day to kind of make this happen, or maybe you take a long lunch and you just go out and mind the apartments close to work, do that. But that was one of the tricks in me finding the right person. I mean, I was going on the weekend and I was really wasting my time because I would always have to come back during the weekday. So I'm giving you a pro tip right here. Don't go on the weekends. And really, once you're there, just make sure that you are prepared, but also make sure that you're not overselling yourself or promising stuff that you can't deliver on. So integrity is really important at this point. You are a company that is representing yourself in a sense in this local area. So you want to make sure that, you know, when you talk in things of we, maybe not me, maybe not I, but the company. You know, you want to seem technically a little bit bigger than what you are. You don't want to say that, hey, I'm just going to host your stuff on Airbnb. You want to say that, you know, hey, we have corporate apartments and I'm interested in finding or in locating multiple apartments in this building, preferably because it's a perfect location for us. So when you talk like that, the managers kind of get keyed up on, you know, this guy's representing somebody, or, you know, he's working on somebody's behalf, and they'll listen and they'll be key. And a lot of them at this point, 2019, already know the strategy. They either are for it or against it, and they could cut your pitch shorter just because they already know. So there you guys go.
Now, John, what about if someone says, let me pass this on to somebody else. Let me relay this information to my supervisor and he'll get back to you. What do you do in that situation?
You know what? Sure, you can definitely do that for me, but just so I can follow up with them, is there a way that I can get their number or at least an email address so I could try to set up an appointment to meet them? You just want to kind of overcome that. You really want the person's name. That way, when you go back or when you have to come back later, maybe this person is just shooting you down. They just want to do it in a nice way. You still got a name or something out of it that you could still follow up with later. So if you can get the information, get something. Whether it's just, hey, they went out to lunch. Well, if they went out to lunch, that means they'll probably be back in an hour. So maybe I should come back in an hour. It's okay. Don't worry about leaving a message. I'll be right back.
So what about some of the things? So let's say the front desk person, maybe an assistant, or maybe like the communications manager says, oh, well, I'm the person that helps people check in, or I'm the one that helps people put in the applications. How do you get past that person to the property manager or to the landlord?
Still, same thing. I mean, you're trying to get the name, or you're trying to at least get an appointment set. So if they set appointments, or they're the person that books everybody, and you can almost just, you know what, I'm just out here, you know, I'm looking for multiple apartments and stuff like that. So if I really could just talk to the manager, that would be great. Can you put me on their calendar? Or can you give me their name so I can follow up with them directly? Like, you just want to get to the information. The next step in this, and what we'll be talking about in the next episode, is just viewing the apartment and making sure that it's right for you. So once we get to that phase, that really dictates how far into this pitch that we go into. We might get there and things don't go well. So what do you do in that case? We'll talk about that in the next episode.
So just to kind of wrap up this episode, you want to find the right person. You don't want to waste your time. Some key things that John said was like, don't go on the weekends. Talk to the right people. If you can't find the right person at that moment, then maybe you have to schedule in a time that you can. But it is very important that you're not just going up to the front desk, your palms are all sweaty and you're rambling and you don't really understand that this isn't the right person that you're not supposed to talk to. Some really good stuff. And we have a lot more exciting stuff coming into this section being the offer. So until next time, Host Nation, keep on hosting. Hope you hosts found value in this episode. If you did, please go on over to iTunes and leave us a review, as that would greatly support the show. If you'd like to connect with John, the community, and I, then go on over to our Facebook group, The Host Nation. Talk to you hosts in the next episode. Keep on hosting.